Hello there, everyone. I am Laurie Baracco, and welcome to Goddess Coffee Talk. And my co-host is Kelly J. Parsons. Good morning, Kelly.
Good morning. Here we are. Finally got the damn thing to work.
That was some manifestation. This week's topic is on manifestation, and we had a little bit of a challenge or two here with the end result of the physical manifestation of our manifestation. Anyhow, so well, we're live at 11:11, so that's kind of cool.
Right,
So
I saw that.
that's a great validation. So I am, if I didn't mention, I think I might have, I'm Laurie Baracco, and I'm here at the Mystical Moon in Bonita Springs, and Kelly's in...
I'm in Savannah, Georgia. We have officially gotten out of Satan's asshole because it's been so hot here, and it's finally not hot as it was, and it's lovely. It's like in the 60, like 68 in the mornings. It's beautiful now. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, that's really nice. We've got a little bit of a cold front. It's like high 80s. I think last night was maybe high 80s, and this morning really a little bit cooler. So we're getting there slowly. So it's nice when you have a little bit of a change, and it sure has been really warm lately, for sure.
It has. So welcome, everybody. I would love if you are joining us to pop in on the comments. We'll watch those throughout the show. If you have questions, if you like what we're saying, if you don't like what we're saying, whatever it is, share it with us. We'd love to interact with you. It's not just about us talking to one another. It's about all of us together to learn and grow together, and hopefully from this be able to manifest what we are wanting to manifest in our lives, right?
Right, absolutely. And even manifest more consciously, because we're always manifesting. However, we don't always put thought into what we're putting out into the universe and the energy that we're giving to our thoughts or our fears or emotions. And so here at the centers, I use the word manifestation a lot. And I have to remember that not everybody uses that word, because people will stop and say, well, what do you mean by that? So we all do it, but there are different terms to identify or talk or that describe what manifestation is, right? Some people may say prayer, some people may say intention, dream, wish, and so on and so forth. And for me, manifestation is having a desire, a want, a yearning for something, and then going through the process for that manifestation. So, and we'll go more in depth with this. So some things aren't meant to be, but and some things are, and this is where we can get really caught up in that manifestation process. So what does manifestation mean? It's actually a noun. And it's an event, action, or object that clearly shows or embodies something, especially a theory or an abstract idea. The first obvious manifestations of global warming, that is an example. So, Kelly, what does manifestation mean to you? What's your description?
So I'm going to read it because I thought it was good when I wrote it in the thing. And I'll mess it up if I don't. Okay. It is focused on the action while calling in the unseen helpers to help us align with the outcome we desire. So it's sort of where our physical reality and the reality outside of us sort of meet up, I think, and they align because we get help from the unseen, and the energy work that we do around manifestation is all done internally and in the unseen planes. It's not necessarily in a physical, although the outcome is physical. So that's the idea, is that we take these sort of unseen things and we create a physical representation in our reality around what it is that we are trying to get at. I think one of the biggest things about manifestation that often is not talked about is the action behind it. Mm-hmm. There has to be some kind of action on your part. And that doesn't, like, you set out this desire, you set out this goal, you focus on what it is that you want, then it's not just time to sit back and have a cocktail and stay there. Yes, you can have a cocktail. I do enjoy them myself, but you don't have to, it's not just you have to meet in the middle, so to speak. You have to really show what it is that you're doing to get to that goal too. There's things that you can do, there's mindsets that you can do, there's internal work, all of these other things that wrap into being able to manifest what we're really wanting to manifest. And I think that for me is the biggest part of manifestation.
And being really positive and using the um, intention, the desire, being positive with that does help. I mean, don't get us wrong, right? Seeing yourself in that place of anchoring that energy. However, if it hasn't manifested, there are things in the process that need to be done, shifted, released, and integrated. It is the work. And I've had quite a few clients who have been very disappointed because they've read the Law of Attraction, and there's nothing wrong with that book, but they've had all of these teachings and read these books where you just have to hold space for it and so on and so forth. That's only one part of it. That's only one little smidge of the manifestation process of what's necessary to be implemented before it comes to life. We need to be in alignment with that intention, right? So one example is that, say you want your soulmate. So you're at home, you're just kind of hanging at home, you're a recluse, and you don't like big crowds and so on and so forth. What are you laughing about?
I was laughing because the reading I had with you, and I asked about that. I asked about meeting, like, I was like, what do the cards say about my love life? And you were like, well, you're not doing anything. Like, Mr. Dream Man's not going to just come up and knock on your door. I mean, I suppose it happens, but it's, it's unlikely that that's going to happen. That's what I was laughing about, because I was doing it.
Because we need to do something, right? How are they going to find you, right? And I encourage people, by the way, to be in their element. If you want to meet people, do things that you really, truly enjoy. Because first of all, you're going to have activities and hobbies and interests, right? And then when we're doing things that we love and that we're passionate about, it raises our vibration, which is another part of the manifestation. Raises our vibration. We're in alignment with that opportunity, and so on and so forth. Yeah. So there are a few things that we need to do on our part. And it's not always there is the physical part, right, of taking action, but then there's also the mindset too, the belief systems that we may have in place that are prolonging that manifestation from coming to life.
Yeah, and sometimes that's the internal work I was talking about, is that we have to raise our frequency to match that which we're trying to manifest, that we desire. So if where you are now is not an energetic match for where you want to be, there's going to be some work that has to happen in between. So if you want to be a millionaire, but you have a poverty complex, you have to, those are not in the same frequency. They're not in the same book. So you have to raise this, you have to change this idea around the poverty complex in order to align yourself with great abundance. And that's where the internal work is. What are you saying to yourself? What are the conversations that are being had in your head? And identifying those and releasing those will raise that vibration to match. It's like magnets. But if you flip over a magnet or you turn them around, they repel. So you have to match that frequency that you're trying to manifest. And that's where the internal work comes.
Absolutely. So I did, in my notes, I did put a little tidbit or two about the elements, which in a lot of teachings, they suggest working with the elements: earth, water, air, fire. And in order to bring something to life, to create with alchemy, we work with the 4 elements to bring thought, desire into this physical 3D reality. So we start with the idea, which is air. And the example I have is, I think I want a cookie for dessert, right? I have this thought, this is what I want. So then I move into the desire, which is the element of water. Let me really check in. Is this what I really want? Yeah, I think I do. I think I want cookies for dessert. Then we move into fire, which is the action. What do I need to do? Do I have the ingredients? I'm going to have to mix these up, and then I have to put my batter into the oven. So that's doing something about it. And then the final manifestation, which is the element of earth, is then here it is. Here are my cookies. And this, we could apply this formula to just about anything in our life, right? So if I want to manifest a new business, I have that idea. Gee, I think I'd like to do that, right? So, what, and you think about it, what kind of business, and what are the, and so then you have the idea, what type of business, you plan it out a little bit, then you sit with the energy. Do I really want to do this? What am I passionate about, right? So then you move into the action. What steps do I need to physically take? So do I need to create a website? Am I going to do products? Am I going to have services? Do I need to paint it and set it all up? And then as I put all that together, staying true to my original vision, and there will be things that pop up along the way to help me grow and evolve into the energy to be in alignment. And here is my business, right? So that hopefully that's the end result, but it doesn't stop right there too. So that's a whole other manifestation.
Yeah, and honestly, I think that manifestation is sort of like a muscle that we sort of work out. I think that when I first started on this, more spiritual journey for myself, I would try and manifest things and it was very difficult. But now I have sort of exercised that muscle enough and sort of know into my own process for it. And so I can see easier, and it is easier to manifest that which I'm desiring. And because we work it out, so to speak. And so it's not just a one-off thing. Like I manifested one thing and that's it. Like, no, like you said before, we're constantly manifesting and we work that muscle out. So it's easier. I think it gets easier as we go.
Mm-hmm. We become more aware too, because through the manifestation process, we're growing, we're learning more about ourselves, and we become more conscious and aware of the things that pop up, right? It's like, oh yeah, I'm too attached to it. So I'm going to give I'm going to give a quick example of my husband, Jim. So he recently retired and he pretty much is a homebody anyway. And I teach a lot of nighttime classes and so on and so forth. So I said to him, I said, you need to find something to do for yourself. He's like, I don't know. I'll think about it. So then he was helping out yesterday, right? So first of all, I want to back it up. He wasn't too attached to it, but I know, he wants to break it up a little bit. He doesn't need to hang out with Penny and Ralphie all the time, right? Go out and explore. So he went to pick up a telephone for me for the other store. He goes back home and Destiny says, this telephone doesn't have an answering machine. So then he says, oh, okay, shoot. So then he goes out to the store, to another store, and then in the car he hears that there's this radio contest and you can win free tickets for Disturbed for tonight. And he called in and he manifested himself a concert with a band he would love to see, and he got to bring a friend because I was teaching an online class. So there was some thought, some emotion. He was like, yeah, I think he probably within himself said, yeah, I would probably like to do some stuff here and there. And then he was doing some physical actions. He also called, and because he didn't have to call, and then voila, there's his manifestation.
Yeah, and you make yourself available to receive. Mm-hmm. And I was using this example yesterday when I was talking to my brother about something about how if you have a bucket full of dirty water, so these are old belief systems, these are things that don't serve us, these are the things that are sort of in the way of being where we want to go or having what we want to have. Mm-hmm. And if that bucket is full, there's no space for anything new to come in. And we can't assume that just pouring some fresh water in there is going to clear it all out. Sometimes we have to clear all that shit out so that we can receive what's better. And honestly, sometimes the things that we want to manifest are not for our highest good. And that's that's hard because we think we know everything most of the time, but really we don't. And the manifestation part is there's other beings, there's helpers and angels and guides that are there to ultimately bring us and help us follow to what is our highest good. And sometimes what we want isn't that. It isn't that. It's unfortunate, it can be a hard truth, but it's unfortunate sometimes we think, but really it's not. It's for our best and highest good.
Right. We think, okay, so here I've gone through this process. Where's my manifestation? And then they're laughing. They're going, oh my God, she's asking for that again.
right?
How many times? And we're trying to give her the signal to just wait, hang on, just let it go. And that's another thing too, is after you've done whatever it is you're wanting to do with your manifestation, try to shift it and send it off. Right? You've been as proactive as possible, right? So then it's like, okay, now I'm going to put that on the shelf over there, and there are other things that are taking my attention. Those things that are taking your attention, and what you're tending to, are actually linked up to that manifestation. There are things that maybe need to be in place that you didn't realize needed to be in place. Maybe you're not at the right mindset, and so on and so forth. These other conditions aren't set yet to put you in alignment over here. And that happens quite frequently. And it doesn't mean that like it's a judgment call, like you're not a good person, you're not there yet. That's not what it means. It just is there's prep work that needs to be in place so that you can enjoy this over here.
Yeah. It's like baking a cake. You don't eat the ingredients once you pour it in your container. You let it bake for a while, and you don't sit there and watch it. You trust. There's a certain amount of trust that has to happen. You trust that in however much time, it's going to be a cake that you can eat. So my biggest thing with manifestation too is you have to still live your life. You have to still live your life. You have to continue to operate in the world and feel, it's not just about whatever it is you're trying to manifest. And that can really hinder our growth because we get so myopic. We get so focused on that one thing and wanting that only that one thing that we miss everything else that's happening around us. All of the small blessings or the small things that are happening around us that are for our highest good or for just simple joy or things like that, we can suffocate the dreams that we're trying to manifest and hinder the process all along the way.
Yeah, we get in the way. We get in the way.
Yeah, it sucks.
So another point I wanted to make is that when you're wanting to work with intentions and goals, try to not overload everything at once. Put everything in this basket. I want to do this. And I'm going to, some people will want to work with candle magic here, right? So they'll buy all these candles. And I encourage people, just hang on. I don't light them all at once, right? Because then all of the soul learning opportunities are going to come in at you, and you're not going to know what's happening. Hold on. First of all, it could be really chaotic, right? If you're wanting to move, and then you're wanting a new relationship, and then you want to clear up your debt, and then you want a new job, and all the things. A lot is set into motion to put you in alignment with those intentions. And we're not going to know what challenge is connected with what, because that's part of the process here, right? That's why we're here, is to learn and to grow, to reveal more light that's within us, right? To clear the karma and the soul's agenda. So if we're doing all these things at once, we're not going to be able to link up the things that we overcame and why and what that's connected to.
Yeah, and you can exhaust yourself really quickly trying to do it that way. You really can. If you are trying to manifest 100 things at one time, that's exhausting because there's a lot of energetic work that has to happen. So you only have so much in your cup every day. You're not going to have anything left, and you're going to exhaust yourself and spread yourself way too thin so that you can't really get what you want, which makes it, counterproductive. So focus on one thing at a time. That's definitely true. And don't exhaust yourself in the process. Whatever. So you have to go pretty soon. So let's see, what else do we need that's good in here? To live your life.
And I know that we can definitely do a part 2 and 3 in addition to this topic. This topic, we can grow. Maybe we'll add some magical elements down the road.
Right? Yeah, there's lots of, we really could talk for hours on this because it is such a deep thing. But I think sort of to wrap it up, be focused on one thing at a time. Realize any internal barriers that might be stopping you from getting what you want. Realize that you actually have to take some action around that manifestation once some of that internal work is done, and make yourself available to receive that which you're wanting to manifest. And realize also that sometimes if it doesn't happen, allow that, just let that go then. Either the timing is off, or it wasn't for your highest good, or there's something even better that you haven't even necessarily imagined yet. Trust in that process.
Yeah, very well said, Kelly, because we get so caught up in wanting to control how it all comes together. And there might be a better way. There might be a shortcut. There might be a long cut that our divine self is trying to show us and to teach us and to lead us down that path. And yeah, some things just aren't meant to be. Thank God, right? That job you wanted and you didn't get, you might have been saved from chaos, a shit show, and one of the worst experiences of your life. You know, we have those helpers that are looking out for us.
Yep, for sure. So hope that was helpful. Are we going to pull some cards for the week?
Yeah, I'm going to pull one. And yes, I hope that was helpful for our listeners. And also, I want to add to the little bullet list you just shared, the points. Now I just lost it. How weird. I want to share this, but wait. Oh, shit.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh, to be more mindful. This is so funny. No, it was to be aware of what you're thinking, what energies you're allowing, what thoughts, what emotions are that you are entertaining and giving energy to. What are you saying? Are you saying, of course this didn't happen, right? How many times do you say, I'm going to hit every red light, and you do. So you helped manifest that experience for yourself, right? So try not to focus on the negative. It just might mean that it's not right now and later. So that's what I wanted to say. Oh my God.
That's good. That's great.
You know what my card is, or the card?
What?
Get your shit together. So this is our deck, the Working Girls Oracle. And this is for all of us, not just me. All right. You have been running your business and or life. I'm going to add life, reactively, not proactively. And it's time for you to stop that shit. Here's your reality check. If being a successful business owner is what you want, or having a fulfilling life is what you want, then you need to take your life seriously and your business. Do you have the proper systems in place? Are you aware of deadlines? Do you have a budget? What are the priorities within your business and or life? It's time to get all of your ducks in a row so that you have the right foundation for your business and life to be fulfilling.
Yes, indeed. So I've got ground yourself. That's really bright. You're not gonna be able to see that. Anyway, it's important to ground, center, and focus your mind, body, and spirit. Take time to connect to the earth beneath your feet and feel the infinite support offered to you as you anchor yourself to Mother Earth. When we ground ourselves, it helps us to remain in the present moment and maintain our focus on the tasks at hand. So take some grounding and mindfulness with you through this weekend into next week. We will be back here next week, same time. Hopefully we don't have the same issues. We'll see you bright and early at 11 a.m. next Friday. I'm Kelly Parsons. You can find out more about us at workinggirlsmagic.com or kellyjparsons.com, and my lovely co-host,
Laurie Baracco at lauriebaracco.com or Working Girls Magic. And it was a pleasure connecting with all of you. And of course, as always, Kelly, thank you. All righty. So everybody have a great rest of your week and go enjoy yourselves. Bye-bye.